The Lady Gregory Galway Summer Rally is upon us as we step into the penultimate round, round 7 of the Triton Showers National Rally Championship. This highly anticipated and iconic event has a bumper strong entry list with over 150 crews, and it promises to be an epic one-day rally event here in Gort.
That's right, Avril, and as an extra incentive, the championship organisers have made bonus points available for contesting the final 2 rounds, which could prove crucial at the end of the season. And if that wasn't enough, there's also the Top Part West Coast and Sligo Pallets Border Championship contenders to factor in to what could be a season-defining event for many.
Clerk of the course Aidan Connolly has put in his own unique touch by diving into the Galway Motor Club archives and resurrecting a loop of 3 demanding but classic stages which have not been used in over 15 years. Aidan, first time as clerk of the course for the Galway Summer Rally. The calibre of entries is incredible. You must be delighted.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Avril. Second last round of the National Championship and 2 Associate Championships. It's, as you can see, 160 cars. It's absolutely fantastic in the sunshine, and what more could you ask for?
So after 6 rounds and some fantastic action throughout the year, it's Josh Moffat and Andy Hayes who have the national title within their grasp, while Roy White and James O'Brien still have an outside chance of upsetting the odds.
It's a tough one for us because obviously we'd like to try and fight for the win today, but we have to keep the championship in mind. So look, we'll see what the morning brings.
Josh doesn't have to do emotion how to win the championship today, but look, we'll get it there and we'll see what we can do to stop it.
One of the big features in Galway is the King of the Mark II Escort Trophy, sponsored by Group 4 Fabrications. Who will be the first Mark II home? We shall wait and see. Johnny, winner here last year. I'm sure you're hoping to regain that title this year.
Yeah, we have our own little battle there with Mark IIs, and hopefully it stays dry and we'll have a good run today.
Kevin, 4th overall and leading the 2-wheel drive. You've had a fantastic year.
You know, we're getting away well now, so we get finished up in here. We'll be happy enough. There's a big clatter of boys here today, so we'll see what the crack is.
Out to the stages now, where some challenging terrain awaited both crews and spectators as the first loop of 3 stages got underway. Running first on the road, Josh Moffat and Andy Hayes made a flawless start. Despite having rolled out on the recent Ulster Rally, the pair seemed undaunted, setting 3 fastest times in their Ford Fiesta WRC. Their lead at the end of the opening loop stood at over half a minute. Roy White's slim hopes of taking his 2nd national title evaporated at the end of stage 1. A broken transfer box in his Fiesta WRC, the cause of early retirement for he and navigator James O'Brien. Newly crowned Forest Rally champion Cahan McCourt had James O'Brien's daughter Grace calling the notes in the Fiesta R5, and after a sluggish opening stage that saw them lie 7th overall, the pair climbed to 2nd on stage 2 and trailed Moffat by 30.6 seconds at the end of the loop.
3 right, keep into a fast 4 left, into a brave 5 right over crest, into bump, into fast 2 left, into 5 right and 5 left, and late 3 rights. 2 left, keep over gravel, into crest, into a long 3 right, nips 40.
Ian Barrett heads off on his debut drive in the Subaru Impreza S12 BWRC. Last seen in the hands of his dad Frank under the guidance of his brother Darren, the car is the same one that the late great Manus Kelly took to 3 victories at the Donegal International, an event where Ian took the national victory in 2018 in his more familiar Darien. 2nd after stage 1, a spin on stage 2 saw Ian and navigator Paul McGee slip to 4th, before climbing to 3rd after stage 3. In fourth, just 1.5 seconds off Barrett, was last year's Galway winner Jonathan Pringle. He was leading the two-wheel drive section, but his escort had a misfire through the second stage, and he was also watching the dials as the temperature gauge was high. James Stafford and Jeff Case had led the two-wheel drive standings and held an impressive third overall after stage one, but that's as far as they went in their Darien T90. The battle was already raging for the two-wheel drive honours as Gary Kiernan took over the lead on stage two, but dropped to second in class and sixth overall by the end of the loop. Second to Stafford on the opener, Kevin Eves was third in class and seventh overall, less than 3 seconds off Kiernan. Despite having the championship to consider, Eves and navigator Chris Melly weren't holding back out on the stages.
If I pass the 155 right and narrows over crest, depth 80, 6 left, oil 130, under the braking, small bump for square right. Watch the braking on the oil for square right. 300. Big push. Black crest.
It was great to see Niall Maguire back on the stages after a recent back injury. The three-time national champion was holding 5th overall, with James O'Reilly calling the notes in the Subaru S12 WRC.
160, left over crest 40, crest and dip 160, one left 140, left at the fence 80, and one left 40, slowing 5 right over crest at the wall. You'll see the wall.
Triton teammate Kevin Barrett was out in his S14 Impreza WRC, and the championship sponsor was very happy with another strong turnout on the Triton Trail.
4 right, 4 left. Long 4 right, and left continues over 30 into 3 left. And right over crest slowing 30, 4 right over gravel. Left into 1 right.
Kevin, how are you? Another big entry here. You must be delighted.
Absolutely, it's fantastic to see. Like, you know, great entry over the 130 cars. Like, you know, it's fantastic for this type of the championship.
Kevin's son Paul Barrett was also out in his R5 Fiesta and thrilled with the growing popularity of the championship.
Paul, it has been a wonderful year for the Triton Series, and what a turnout for the Galway Summer Rally as well.
Yeah, the entry's been unbelievable today. It's brilliant to see, and it really just shows how well the championship's run, that there's so much people that are coming here to enter it.
Hugh Hunter's return to the series hasn't gone as well as he would have liked so far. Third after stage 2, the Welshman slipped to 8th after a difficult third test.
The whole idea really today is just to get the mileage, get to the end of the rally, have some fun, lose a bit of weight because I'm sweating like I don't know what. But no, they're really tricky stages though, really tricky. So yeah, get to the end.
Compatriot Steve Wood was just 3 seconds adrift of Hunter and felt he couldn't get into the groove on the treacherous stages. Leading Class 5 and holding 10th overall, Steve McCann put some of his recent forestry experience to good use on the gravelly Galway stages. Just 2.4 seconds back in 11th, Andrew Purcell is always entertaining to watch, be it on gravel or on tarmac. Former multiple junior champion Gary McNamee and newly crowned Motorsport Ireland junior champion Brian Brady had swapped seats for the Galway Summer Rally, where they led Class 11F in the 1.6 litre Civic.
Gary currently leading Class 11F, and you've Brian back as well again. Great comradeship between the two of you.
Yeah, it's just a seat swap from tarmac to gravel, I guess, and it works both ways anyhow.
Chasing the class leaders was local crew David Quigley and Des Sherlock, who had 30 seconds to make up over the next 6 stages. On his first rally in 5 years, Mullingar's George E. Bell was taking a cautious approach. Interestingly, he had 2019 Irish Hill Climb champion Rob Dwayne calling the notes in the Honda Civic. No problems for Mayo-based Scot George Nimmo, who was giving his Ford Fiesta a run out in Galway with navigator Crystal Culkeen. In the historic section, David Armstrong was leading in his Ford Escort RS 1800, but his advantage was only 10 seconds over the RS 1800 of George Cullen, who was home from Thailand to compete in Galway.
You're enjoying the historic section and enjoying the day itself.
Well, I'm historic myself, you see, so obviously it's the right car for me, yes. We're having a lot of fun, and we're not doing crazy things on the stages, we're just having fun, so we're very happy with that.
David, you're having a great battle with George Cullen in the historics.
Yeah, it's a close bit of racing. I'll tell you what, he give me hard work, he is.
Back at the top of the overall leaderboard, it was Josh Moffat's rally and championship to lose now, as he held a substantial lead after 3 stages.
It's Josh Moffat and Andy Hayes who are currently leading the Lady Gregory Galway Summer Rally. It still leaves no room for error. Who is going to secure the Vard Memorial Trophy? We will find out after the break.
Welcome back to Gort for the conclusion of the Lady Gregory Hotel Galway Summer Rally. Conditions were good as the fans gathered for the second loop of 3 stages, where championship hopefuls Josh Moffat and Andy Hayes set another fastest time in the Fiesta WRC to extend their rally lead to 36.4 seconds with 3 stages to go. Cahan McCourt and Grace O'Brien were really enjoying the stages as they maintained second place in the R5 Fiesta.
10 minute request job 80 over rough. Fast 4 right, keep over bumps at narrows. 6 right 80. Flat 5 right into flat crest. 350 down the mid over bumps. Caution right on crest into 3 left keep.
Ian Bard and Paul McGee set 2 fastest times across the repeat loop, but the middle stage of the loop again proved tricky for the Maynooth man, who stayed 3rd overall. There was drama in the 2-wheel drive battle as class leaders Jonathan Pringle and Paul Sheridan went off-road on stage 5 and couldn't continue. Taking over the class lead were Gary Kiernan and Ryan Moore, up to 4th overall with 3 stages to go. Kevin Eves felt he had no answer to the pace of Kiernan. Understandable really, with the Rally.ie 2-wheel drive championship at stake for Kevin.
Gary and them's kind of just as the better of us today, so we're just chipping away and see how it goes.
Shane, you have had a fantastic year. I think you've group playing almost wrapped up now.
Look, we're taking on for granted 3 tough stages still to go, so hopefully we can get the job done, but it's tough.
3 more stages to go. Hopefully now if we can keep it together, we'll have the championship, which is the main objective today.
Let's turn to the other classes now for the final loop of stages, where Stephen Reynolds and Derek McCarthy wrapped up the Class 16 junior title with 2nd in class in Galway. Taking the Class 16 win on the day were Jack Brunton and Dara Kelly.
2 left, 100, 3 left here, 40, 3 left half long, 60, 1 left, 60, 5 right tightens at the pole.
In the Junior Class 16A Championship, David Kelly and Kenny Bustard's title hopes suffered a blow with a non-finish at the penultimate round. Points leader Nigel Roach had been 3rd in class, but trouble on the final loop dropped him to last place. But he maintains his overall lead with 1 round to go. Johnny Armstrong and Philly Mitchell brought their Citroen C2R2 to 3rd in class. Aaron and Ben McIntyre took 2nd in class in their Toyota Starlet. Colin O'Donoghue and Eddie Doherty took their 3rd straight win to leave it all to play for at the final round in Cork. In the historic section, James Hall and Alan Hourigan took the Class 19 win in their awesome-sounding Audi Quattro. In the overall historic standings, George Cullen and Pat Cashman had to settle for the runner-up spot, just 3.9 seconds off winners David Armstrong and Podge New. The historic title, another going down to the wire in Cork. To the main field classes now, where Joe and Eddie Moffat secured the Class 1 title with 5th place in Galway. Des Roach and Michael Breen took 2nd place in their Honda Civic EK4. Keith Ewing took the Class 1 win with navigator Shane Barry. There was early drama in Class 2 when Carl Follis and Tony McGovern crashed out on Stage 1. But taking the Class 2 win were Jenna McCann and John McCabe in the Ford Fiesta. In Class 3, normally in a Renault Clio, Keith McFadden took 2nd place with daughter Sarah navigating in the Honda Civic Type R. Over 20 seconds ahead were class winners Victor Farrell and Garrett Burke from Galway. Lloyd Hutchinson and Willie Fitzpatrick added another Class 9 trophy to their bulging cabinet after another fine drive in the Mini. Peter and Shane Farrell wrapped up the Class 10 championship with their 4th win of the year in the Toyota AE86. In the hotly contested Class 11F battle, local driver Des Lyons secured the category title with Aisling McCardle as they finished 3rd in class in Galway. David Quigley and Des Sherlock had to settle for 2nd in class and 19th overall on their home rally. Gary McNamee and Brian Brady took the Class 11F win and finished 17th overall in the Honda Civic. In Class 11R, Tim Flood and Anthony Smith maintained their points lead with a finish in Galway. Billy Nolan and Shane O'Mahony closed to within 7 points of the table toppers, making for a final round decider in Cork. Corey Eves and Pascal McCartney took the Class 11R runner-up spot in their Toyota Corolla. Taking the class win in their similar machine were Paul Carron and Sean Brunton. In Class 12, John O'Rourke maintained his points lead, finishing 4th in class with navigator Brian Commons. Brian Armstrong and Aidan Gallagher secured another Sligo Pallets Border Championship title with their 5th win of the series.
Brian, 3rd time winning the Sligo Pallets Border Champion. You must be delighted.
Yeah, I'm more than delighted. Actually, it hasn't sunk in really yet. So I'd say every time we get up the road, it will.
Same thing again next year, so.
Oh, we'll see. We're not saying nothing yet.
It was great to see Sean Liston and Katrina Walsh back on the stages in a BMW E30 after a big crash in 2018. The former Class 13 champions showed they still have good pace, taking 3rd in class in Galway. Gareth Black and Conor Dunlop took 2nd in class in their Toyota Starlet. Taking the Class 13R win in the Toyota Corolla were John Warren, who finished 20th overall with navigator Ruth Ann O'Connor. Quickest Class 13 crew was the partnership of Cormac Phelan and Katya Earle, who finished 14th overall in the Class 13F Civic. In Class 14, Tom Flaherty and Dylan O'Donoghue took 4th place and finished 13th overall in the Escort, securing the Conroy Cup for top local crew in the process. JF Shovelin and Emmett Brosnan were 3rd in class and 10th overall after a fantastic season for the newly crowned Triton Mark II champions.
JF, congratulations, winner of the Mark II trophy in the Triton Championship.
Yeah, it was good to get it. We're happy to be here in one piece and no bother.
And you've had some great man on the notes as well.
Emma done well all year now, to be fair, and Ryan there, the higher cars, you never missed a beat all year, so everything worked out.
3.2 seconds ahead in 9th overall were Frank Kelly and Sean Haid, who recorded 2nd in class after a slow start due to a poor tyre choice for the morning loop. There was drama for Kevin Eads and Chris Melly on the final loop as they rolled their Toyota Corolla on the last stage of the day. No problems for Class 14 winners Gary Kiernan and Ryan Moore, who were the top two-wheel drive crew, finishing a fantastic 4th overall in the Escort and win the coveted Group 4 Fabrications King of the Mark II trophy for their efforts.
We pushed on. Ryan kept me straight and narrow and nothing too wild. Anytime I got too excited, he'd pull you back and then push me on wherever I was slacking off. So look at the team. It's a team effort. There's a small team of us running the car, CMC Motorsport, and it's fairly reliable, and I'm happy out now.
To the four-wheel drive classes now, where Ian Roach and Anthony Nestor strengthened their position at the head of the Top Part West Coast Championship with another Class 15 win in the Subaru Impreza. Taking the Class 20 win were Simon Chapman and Peter Foy, who finished 15th overall in the Proton. Shane Maguire wrapped up the Group N title and moved up to 3rd in the overall championship with an 8th place finish with navigator Connor Foley. In Class 5, Keith Lyons secured the category title with 2nd place in Galway, navigated by Brian Doherty in the Ford Fiesta. Taking the Class 5 trophy on the day were Cal McCarthy and Derek O'Brien, who finished 16th overall in the Citroën DS3 R5. In Class 7, Steve Wood took 3rd place and finished 7th overall with navigator Keith Moriarty. Niall Maguire and James O'Reilly were 2nd in class and 6th overall in the Subaru Impreza. Hugh Hunter and Rob Fagg were delighted to take the Class 7 trophy and 5th overall in the Ford Focus WRC. To the overall podium finishers now, and it was an impressive debut drive in the Subaru Impreza by Ian Barrett, who finished 3rd overall with navigator Paul McGee. Even more impressive were Cahan McCourt and Grace O'Brien, who took the runner-up spot in the Ford Fiesta R5. But taking the overall win were Josh Moffat and Andy Hayes, securing the Triton Showers National Rally Championship with their 6th win of the season in the Fiesta WRC.
Yeah, tough stages out there today, definitely didn't make it easy. And well, thankfully the weather stayed good all day, so made it a bit easier for us. But fair play to Andy, like he did a top job for us all year, and it's a big part of the whole thing.
Great results all year, so it's been great. I suppose last year and this year. Last year we got the Tarmac Championship, and this year we got the National, so it's been good all around.
So congratulations to Josh and Andy on a fantastic achievement, with Josh adding the Vard Memorial Trophy to his illustrious career to date. And there's confirmation of the results at the Lady Gregory Hotel Galway Summer Rally, the penultimate round of the championship, and while the overall title has been wrapped up, there's still lots to be decided at the final round in Cork.
Well, what an exciting and very thrilling event it has been here in Galway, with some great battles happening right down through the various classes. But it's Josh Moffat and Andy Hayes who take the win and are crowned the 2019 Triton Showers National Rally Champions. Join us for the Fastnet Rally in Bantry, which is the final round of the championship. From all of us here in Galway and the On The Limit Sports team, thank you for watching. See you soon.